Ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to welcome you to another wonderful Friday, which means another stacked episode of Quick Hits for your Friday. Let me be your buffer for the weekend here. After you get past this show, you will not be far away from the weekend. You'll be ready to enjoy with friends and family. You'll be ready to get some rest after a very long work week. On this episode, we will be covering some basketball. We'll be covering some baseball. We got more all-season awards. We'll be covering some hockey. We had a little bit of drama in the NHL this week. And of course, you know what Fridays are for. Friday is for football. So that means we're going to be making picks in the college game. We got some big matchups coming up, and a very big matchup in the Big Ten that we got to discuss and we got to talk about on this episode. And of course, we've got the NFL. Got to make those picks as we're getting into the playoff picture in the NFL. We're also getting into that 12-man, 12-team conversation. The picture's already being painted in college football, and we got 2 weeks left before we decide to see who the field of 12 your conference championship, and we about to go bowling in the next couple of weeks. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Let's talk some sports. Let's have some coffee, and of course, enjoy that cup of coffee with me, Podcast Smitty. Let's go.
Can't fall off, now they holler he'll turn, thinking I'ma sell out, talking just to feel heard. I never listen, although they say it's strictly.
Welcome to Quick Hits. I'm your host, Shannon Smith, aka Podcast Smitty. Thank you guys so much for watching the Tuesday episode where we broke down some quick hits from the weekend in your favorite sports. And of course, we recap that wonderful football that we saw on Saturday and Sunday on that Tuesday episode. So if you want to get yourself acclimated and ready for this weekend, go ahead and peep that episode. But peep it after this episode here. And of course, while you're at it, give a like, a comment, a subscription to Boom Broadcasting, as we have some great shows. I'm starting it out for today on Friday. A Dad and the Boys episode will be coming up on this day as well too. Then Saturday, we'll have Wrestling of Destiny. Then we'll have the man behind the mic on Saturday. And then Sunday, we'll have the Gridiron Address with my man Aaron Schneider, who will be talking about the football that went on Sunday afternoon. And then he'll be the buffer between Sunday afternoon and the Sunday night football game. So make sure you tune in to Boom Broadcasting this weekend. And of course, next week. Now we'll have a little bit of an altered schedule next week, and we'll be talking about that at the end of this episode, and I'll be letting you know. So in the meantime, in between time, let's start the show. Now let's go ahead and hit you with these quick hits for the week. We'll start off with Major League Baseball as they're in their off season. So they're giving all their awards from this past season. And we're going to go with these pitchers, those heavy throwers in Major League Baseball, as we have our 2 Cy Young Award winners for the National League and the American League. Tark Skubal, who was a unanimous pick for the Cy Young Award for the American League, playing on that Detroit Tigers, who had a storybook comeback to make the playoffs this year. Skubal absolutely pitched his tail off. 18-4 record, 2.39 ERA. He had the Triple Crown in all of the American League in pitching. For the pitchers, he had the Triple Crown, I should say. So he was a shoo-in for the Cy Young Award for the American League and the National League. going to my man Chris Sale. That's Chris Sale, who was the comeback player of the year for the National League. He is the Cy Young Award winner for the National League. Doing it for my Atlanta Braves. Absolutely incredible for both of these guys. Now, here's a pretty good tidbit about these two pitchers. This is the third time in all of Major League Baseball that two left-handers won the award in the same year. It's only happened 3 times. Chris Sale, Tart Skubal, third time ever in all of Major League Baseball. Congratulations to you guys. And then we're going to go with those heavy hitters, those strong batters, those long ball hitters for your NL and AL MVPs. And of course, if you've not been watching this season, shame on you. These two guys were tyrants in their respective leagues, as Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, unanimous picks for AL and NL MVPs. Shohei Ohtani, only player in Major League Baseball to have a 50 home run, 50 stolen base year. Shohei Ohtani did it, and he was not 100%. He did not pitch at all this year. He needs Tommy John surgery, but he was able to have a lights out year at DH. So, well-won award. This is the third time he's won the MVP. Second time and all 3 times, actually it's been all 3 times, he won it as a unanimous pick. Good job to Shohei Ohtani, who got his first World Series this year. Shout out to Chris DeLuca of the Dugout Debrief. He is a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. Congratulations to him on his team winning the World Series this year. And of course, to the AL side, as you have Aaron Judge, who was close to getting a triple crown this year in all of baseball, played some bully ball, very, very strong hitter, led the American League in home runs and RBIs. Congratulations to Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. That's it for baseball. We're going to move into the NBA's quick hits. Tuesday night, Dalton Knecht. He couldn't miss 9 3-pointers, which ties a rookie record for 3-pointers made in one game. Put up 37 points as the Los Angeles Lakers beat up on the Utah Jazz. Everybody been beating up on the Utah Jazz. You know, it hurts because the Jazz were the squad that James Harden hit his 2 3-pointers to go into second place all time in 3-pointers made in a career. He did against Utah Jazz. Dalton Knecht hitting threes on the Utah Jazz. It's tough being a Utah Jazz fan this year. You know, the West is tough. You're getting beat up by rookies. You get threes hit on you by guys who are aging. It's rough, you know, but hey, that's the way the ball bounces. You got to build. Go ahead and do it, Utah. You were once a storied franchise in that 90s. Get back to relevance, guys. You can do it. And then we'll go to Russell Westbrook, who gets his 200th triple-double, only player in NBA history to ever do it. He passed Oscar Robertson back in 2021 for most triple-doubles of any player in the NBA, and he had 200. It looked like it was far off because Russ was having trouble with injury. He was getting a little older as a player. But Russ, he put it down, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists against the Memphis Grizzlies. That was on Tuesday night. And then Cleveland, the Cavs, finally losing to the Eastern Conference champion and defending champion of the NBA, the Boston Celtics. The Celtics beat them in Boston by 3 on Wednesday night. Cleveland, who was the 4th team in the NBA to go 15-0 to start out the season. I think this is going to really make Cleveland a little more dangerous. They don't have to worry about a win streak anymore. Keeping up with the Joneses, they don't have to worry about that. They can get back to playing basketball and focusing on playing basketball because that Eastern Conference looks like it's about to be wide open. The Celtics are a tough squad. The New York Knicks are working out some kinks. Philadelphia is still injured. So Cleveland's trying to ascend into their spot of being that tough team in the Eastern Conference, and they can do it. Sadly, there's some bad news in Boston as we shift to the NHL as the Boston Bruins fired their coach, Jim Montgomery, and named Joe Sacco as their interim head coach. Jim Montgomery won the Jack Adams Award in the 2022-2023 season when he led that Boston Bruins team to one of the best regular seasons in all of hockey at that time. 135 points as a team. They were ousted in the playoffs in the first round that year by the Florida Panthers. Then the next year they go back to the playoffs. The Florida Panthers get them again. So it's been rough. They've had a very, very slow start in the first 20 games. They haven't been able to win many games. They've been last in offensive productivity. So they felt like it was time to move on from Jim Montgomery and go with Joe Sacco. Sorry about that. Boston has been that squad that used to be a perennial powerhouse in all the NHL. Now it looks like that might be a very funny memory. Hate that for them. Let's get back together, Boston. You can do it. And even more sad news in the NHL, those who have been watching the great play of Alexander Ovechkin going after Wayne Gretzky's career goals record, they're going to have to wait about 4 to 6 weeks for Ali Ovechkin to get back on the ice, as it's a broken fibula was the prognosis after being said he was week to week with the lower body injury. Comes to find out he broke his fibula. 4 to 6 weeks out for Alexander Ovechkin. That's going to be a big blow to the Washington Capitals, as Ali Ovechkin was one of the hottest players in all of the National Hockey League. He was leading them in goals at one point in time. He was getting close to Wayne Gretzky's record. Looks like that's going to be a setback for the Washington Capitals. Get well soon, Alexander Ovechkin. You're still the man. Hate that you got that injury. It's a physical game. Hockey's physical. So you got to be careful. Got to keep your head on the swivel. Got to keep yourself healthy. But get back on that ice real soon, Ali. I want to see you get that record. I want to see you get it. Although Ali Ovechkin could or could not break that record, Wayne Gretzky's still the greatest of all time. If you take away all of the 894 goals that Wayne Gretzky has scored, he still is the all-time leader in career points as a player. So that shows you the greatness of one Wayne Gretzky. Then we'll move it over to women's basketball. Mostly women's college basketball that we'll be talking about, as Coach G, Gino Auriemma, tied the record for most Division I wins as a head coach in college basketball. That's men's and women's together. He tied it up. Then Wednesday, Coach G got win number 1,217 against Fairleigh Dickinson and becomes the all-time winningest coach in D1 college basketball. Congratulations to Coach G, Gino Auriemma. Good job. Good job. And last but not least, for all of our quick hits, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is going to be welcoming some newcomers in there, led by 4 WNBA players, former WNBA players: Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, Cappie Pondexter, and Elena Beard. They highlight that women's class, that Women's Hall of Fame class of 2025 coming into effect. Between these 4 players, 23 WNBA All-Star appearances, 9 WNBA championships, 3 WNBA Finals MVPs, and 9 Olympic gold medals between these 4 highly decorated women's basketball players. Congratulations to all 4 of you. Wonderful players. Love seeing you play. You'll be immortalized in all of women's basketball. Sorry about that. College basketball. I was getting ready for the other section because I'm looking forward to football. But these 4 women, Elena Beard, Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, and Cappie Pondexter, congratulations on being immortalized in women's college basketball history. That is all of your sports quick hits for this week. And of course, it is Friday. And you know what Friday is for. Friday is for football. That's right. We're going to get ourselves ready to talk about some football. We have some matchups on Saturday and Sunday that are going to tickle your fancy for all things football. We'll start off with the college game like we always do, as we have 2 weeks, 2 more weeks in the regular season for college football. We already have a 12-team playoff picture painted. It's not in stone. It's not set in stone, not guaranteed, but it is being painted as we speak. And this week and next week are going to be painting that picture a little more vividly. Now, we're going to go with these matchups here. We already got our news and already got our breakdown from this past week on Tuesday's Quick Hits. Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it after this to get yourself caught up so we can get ready for this weekend. That goes for the pro game as well as the college game. But we'll start off with this college game as we'll look at these matchups. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get the ones out of the way that we pretty much can guess and say that we're not really going to have to worry about it as much, as the Miami Hurricanes will be taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I don't see Miami losing that game. I got them over the Demon Deacons. I got Georgia over UMass, Tennessee over UTEP, University of Texas El Paso. Shout out to Tim Hardaway in the crossover, the UTEP step. But Tennessee's going to step all over UTEP on this one coming up this week. Clemson over the Citadel, South Carolina, the Gamecocks over Wofford, and Boise State over Wyoming. Of course, you know I'm going to say it, Ashton Genty for Heisman Trophy. Yes, give that man that trophy. Now let's go into these matchups here. We got some matchups that are going to be great to watch here. Ole Miss versus Florida. Florida, the Giant Killer, the David, as they come up with a big win last weekend. But I don't think they're going to get past Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss's offense is too tough. Jackson Dart is throwing darts all over the field. I don't see Florida winning this one. Give me Ole Miss, and give me Ole Miss by about 13 in this game. Florida's going to play because the SEC is beating each other up. But give me Ole Miss in this one. I think they're on a mission after that Georgia win 2 weeks ago. Give me the Rebels over the Gators. And SMU versus Virginia. Now, Virginia also had a very, very good game last week. Got a big win. Took out a giant killer. Being that giant killer that Virginia is, SMU is on a mission for that ACC title, as it looks like they might get to Clemson for the ACC championship. So give me SMU by a small margin. 1 touchdown. Give me SMU for that 1 touchdown. Illinois, the Fighting Illini against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Give me the Fighting Illini in that matchup. They should take care of Rutgers. Texas over Kentucky. I think that'll be a convincing win for Texas. Kentucky started out strong. They rattled some momentum. They pushed some of those SEC teams to the limit. But give me Texas. Give me my man Ewers at the quarterback spot. I think Texas will get to him. They're looking for that SEC title. We don't know who's going to be playing for it. It's going to be tough to see. These next 2 weeks might show us a little something. And Penn State over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Penn State trying to put themselves into that Big Ten picture, keep themselves into that top 5. So give me Penn State over Minnesota. Now, BYU and Arizona State is going to be interesting. BYU took their first loss this past week, a loss that they should not have taken this past week. They lost that game, shouldn't have done it. But now they're playing Arizona State, who come off of an upset themselves, getting themselves into the top 25 this year. I'm loving the player. And Michael Davis made a nuance to him on tap outs and touchdowns with my man Ryan Frick, my co-host on the Cat Cave. That's his own podcast that he has, that he does on Wednesdays talking about football. He's a great football guy, but Michael Davis, who does Out of Pocket, was his guest host on that show, Tap Outs and Touchdowns, and he said something about a player that I like, Cam Scatterbo, who's playing some very good football at that running back spot for Arizona State. He's got close to 1,100 yards this year, a running back that not really a lot of people are talking about because Ashton Genty is running all over the place. But I think that Cam Scatterbo is going to have his fingerprints on this game. So I'm going to take Arizona State over BYU, who might have a chink in that armor. Give me Arizona State to rattle BYU for the second straight week as they take their second loss. And Kansas and Colorado. Is Coach Prime's guys for real? I definitely think so. I think this game and the next week's game that they've got against the Oklahoma State Cowboys are bulletin board material for Coach Prime and Colorado to get the Big 12 and get to that championship game and could ultimately get Coach Prime Coach of the Year in all of college football. Give me Colorado over the Kansas Jayhawks. And Mizzou, I think they'll take care of Mississippi State. They've yet to win an SEC game this year, so give me Mizzou against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Army and Notre Dame looks like they might be a fun matchup to watch. Notre Dame still, to me, is still dangerous. I really don't like Notre Dame being in that 12-man playoff, that 12-team playoff. I don't think that they should be in there because of strength of schedule. But Notre Dame is Notre Dame. But I think they're going to take care of business against Army in this one. Notre Dame, I'll give them 13 points over the Army Cadets in this one. The Black Knights. Sorry about that. The Army Black Knights. I think that Notre Dame will get them. Alabama over Oklahoma. Oklahoma's been up and down, and I think Alabama's gaining momentum as we speak on that offensive side of the football. So give me Alabama, the Crimson Tide, over the Sooners. Texas A&M and Auburn, gonna be interesting. They don't really have Texas A&M over Auburn. I think they're about maybe a 3. I think they're a -3, I believe. I think they're a 3-point favorite. They might be, might not be. But give me Texas A&M over Auburn. It'll be a fight. Auburn will play them well. But Texas A&M, I think, will get the job done. And Iowa State over the slumping Utah Utes. As Iowa State getting back into the top 25, playing a little bit of good football on the defensive side. And I think Utah has not been that great on offense since losing Cam Rising to injury for the season. Give me the Cyclones over the Utah Utes. Now, I missed one game. And y'all know the game. If you've been paying attention, you know the game I'm about to talk about. And that's going to be the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Indiana football team, the Indiana Hoosiers, playing in the Horseshoe. Of course, the Big Ten powerhouse known as Ohio State, hosting the comeback kids, the new kid on the block, the new leaders into not your father's Big Ten. The Indiana Hoosiers, coached by my man Daddy Cincinnati. That's going to be a heck of a game. Indiana, undefeated. Ohio State got that one loss in Eugene, Oregon, to the Oregon Ducks. As much as I would love to be the guy that takes the underdog in this game, I think Ohio State with the home field advantage is going to be hard to stop. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes by 12. By 12 points. I think that they will be able to get Indiana. Indiana's going to play a very, very good first half. I think they'll play a very good 3 quarters, but Ohio State will outlast them. Give me the Buckeyes. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Indiana do it. But I think that Ken Cincinnati and those Indiana Hoosiers are going to build off of this. This is going to be a good program. I think Daddy Cincinnati has found him a home in Indiana, unless when these big schools can lure them away. So give me Ohio State by 12 points over the Indiana Hoosiers. That is your college football. Quick hits. Quick picks for this weekend. Watch the football. And of course, I can't leave out the NFL, as the NFL has some jam-packed games coming up this week. Now we'll go ahead and begin. We already talked about the Thursday game on Tuesday's episode of Quick Hits. Now we're going into Sunday's game. So we've got Chicago and Minnesota. Nice little NFC North matchup. Minnesota looks like they're wavering a little bit. Is the Sam Darnold experiment coming to a head? Is he reached his ceiling? Is Minnesota a pretender? Chicago, are they the same old Chicago as always, as they've been slumping as of late? I think Minnesota gets over the hump and beats the Chicago Bears. Give me Minnesota in that game. In Detroit, playing Madden with everybody. Another Fitty Burger this week. Serving up the Fitty Burger. Playing the Indianapolis Colts, who have been up and down at the quarterback position. But my man, Andy Richardson, got the win against the Jets. But trust me, who's been beating the Jets all year? Pretty much everybody. But Detroit is on a mission. Still on a mission from last year. So I think they take care of the Indianapolis Colts easily. Give me Detroit in this game. Miami and New England. Tua look like he might have his sea legs underneath them. New England still struggling. Still rebuilding year for the New England Patriots. I'll take Miami in this AFC East matchup, as Miami trying to mount some type of attack to get back into the playoff conversation against the New England Patriots. They will do it. Now, Tampa Bay playing New York. Give me Tampa Bay in that game. The NFC South is still a conundrum. Atlanta looks like they're a dominant team 1 week. Tampa Bay looks like they are. You still got the Panthers that could try to win out. We'll see. And then we got the Saints. We don't really see a lot, but Taysom Hill will run all over the place. But in this game right here, Tampa Bay will get the job done against New York, Washington, and the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, buddy, Washington, they've been on the downward slide as well, too, dropping 2. But the Dallas Cowboys, they've not been having a great year. The Dallas Cowboys look like they were going to be promising in the beginning, but they fell on their face very, very fast. Give me the Washington Commanders over the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry about that, Jerry. And now the Kansas City Chiefs playing the squad that I cover. The Dallas playing the squad that I cover. The Carolina Panthers. Reading it a little wrong right here. Kansas City playing the Carolina Panthers. Panthers on a 2-game winning streak. Kansas City took their first loss to the Buffalo Bills in a very good football game for Josh Allen. Now, I will say this. It's great seeing Carolina win a couple of games, but Carolina played some not so great competition. Played the Saints, who were in the doldrums. Playing the Giants, who were in the basement. Beat both of those teams. Didn't beat them convincingly, but still got the win nonetheless. But Kansas City is going to be dangerous after this loss that they sustained against the Bills. Sometimes it's good to come off a win streak, because now you can get back to playing football. You don't have to worry about appeasing the people with the undefeated streak. So I think Kansas City will roll into Charlotte and roll out with a win. Give me Kansas City over my Carolina Panthers. I love my squad that I cover. I really, really do. But good Lord have mercy. Kansas City is still tough as nails. And the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans, AFC South showdown here. Houston Texans. I'll take the Texans in this game. Tennessee still in Tank City. So give me Houston and Denver. I got them over Las Vegas. I got the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix coming off of 4 touchdowns last week, trying to solidify his argument For Offensive Rookie of the Year this year, give me Denver over Las Vegas. And this one breaks my heart. I got the Green Bay Packers beating my San Francisco 49ers. My 49ers still at the injury bug. Brock Purdy feeling it right now in his shoulder. Green Bay, one of the toughest defenses in the National Football League, the NFC. They're one of the toughest defenses around. So give me Green Bay over my San Francisco 49ers. I pray I'm wrong, but we will see. In Arizona, an NFC West battle as Arizona and Seattle. Give me Arizona, the Cardinals, who are leading the NFC West as we speak. Give me them over Seattle. And then Philadelphia over the Rams. The Rams are getting surprisingly better, but also Philadelphia is getting better at the right time. They're trying to pull away from Washington in the NFC East. Philadelphia will get the win against the Rams. And Baltimore and the Los Angeles Chargers, I got the Baltimore Ravens, who will mount up and play a very, very good game. The King Henry, gonna run amok. That offense is too tough as the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Chargers have a sneaky good defense, but I think the Ravens are an offense that are very, very tough to stop. So give me Baltimore and the LA Chargers. That is your NFL quick hits or quick picks for this week. Enjoy the football on Sunday. Let's go. And just like that, that is our show for Friday. Now, everybody, don't forget to tune in to Dad and the Boys at 3 o'clock. And also hit up the nightcap for WWE SmackDown with Mouthing Off with Mike at about that 10:15 hour tonight, right after Friday Night SmackDown. And then move over to Saturday as you watch my man Sean Lucas doing Wrestling to Destiny, the podcast at 10 o'clock, where he talks some good wrestling. Then we see the man behind the mic with Michael Davis at that 1 o'clock hour. And then the 3 o'clock episode of Starstruck with his father, Mac Davis, on Saturday. And then Sunday at 7:45, you got the Gridiron Address with Aaron Schneider breaking down all your football from Sunday afternoon and leading into that Sunday night football. Don't forget to support the great guys for Boom Broadcasting. We're bringing you some great content as podcasters. These guys put in a lot of work. Appreciate all their work and everything that they do. And I got to say thank you, of course, to Michael Davis for having me on Out of Pocket this past Tuesday. That was a lot of fun. My man Ryan Frick, as we did the Cat Cave one more time for this week, talking about some Panthers football. Want to thank you guys for watching. Want to thank you guys for your support of Boom Broadcasting. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend. Praying for you guys, your families. God bless each and every one of you. Now, for the next week, with Thanksgiving happening next week, you're going to see some podcasters taking a little bit of time off. I will be one of them. I believe I'll put out a Tuesday show, and then after that, I'll slide in to that Thursday and Friday and Saturday and just let y'all chill. And we'll pick up with quick hits in December. Each and every one of you guys, if I don't see you within that time, I pray you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful holiday. Be careful out there on Black Friday if you're going to be shopping. I'm a Cyber Monday guy myself. I like to be a little bit safe during that time. But with all that being considered, enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your families. Hold your family close. You never know when it might be the last holiday that y'all have together. I hope you have more holidays and many more to come. In the mean in between, enjoy that football, that basketball, that baseball, that hockey, that wrestling. and all the other sports that you love and enjoy life. God bless each and every one of you guys. And as always, I'm Shannon Smith, and this is Quick Hits.
Can't fall off, now they holler he'll turn, thinking I'ma sell out, talking just to feel heard. I never listen, although they say it's strictly